Everyone, once again, welcome to the Adventures Travel Club television show. Betty, we are in Nassau in the Bahamas.
Yes, sir. We shall be in Nassau.
Ah, isn't it wonderful? And look at that blue water. And there are several other ships that we can see out there on the horizon that are coming in here to the harbor as well.
Marv,
it's such a beautiful place.
It's gorgeous. Now, we learned the other day why the icebergs have blue ice. Now, tell me, why is the ocean blue?
I don't have an answer for that.
I just threw you a curve, didn't
Because it's not pink. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it was fun. I love to see if I can't catch you on some
Well, you
of
sure
these
did on that one. You
questions.
got me by surprise
All
on
right.
that.
You can do some research, and we'll come in with the answer later.
Okay, that sounds like a very, very good idea. Right now, our ship, the Westerdam, has just come into Nassau in the Bahamas. And Betty, this water is just so beautiful and so clear.
Yeah, but that's
and
not
so
true.
Blue. It's
You just painted
beautiful.
that on the lens.
Sure,
That's
I
not
did.
the color of the water. Why do you fool people like that?
That
Mark?
is the color of the water.
Yes, of course it is.
And even closer to the island, there's aquamarine blue that I had never seen before. It's actually the most beautiful water that I have ever seen. And of course, these pictures don't do it justice. It never does. You have to take a look at it through your own sunglasses when you go.
Marv, what is that right there that we're looking at? That like a peninsula almost.
That's just
coming,
what
a
it
little
is.
Finger
It's
coming out of private homes.
I believe it is, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And this, of course, boy, do they have a view there, because that's where most of these ships,
Would
dock.
come in, sure.
Yeah, this is the back end there of the little tugboat that's pushing us right into the berthing place where we're going to be, and the pilot boat that has brought us in from the outer area there, that is just about ready to leave. I think is going to go back and pick up another
Marv,
ship.
is that where people go to have babies?
Where?
At the birthing place?
I guess they could.
I'm sorry, but
I
that
guess
was just.
I think it's spelled a little
Is
differently.
it spelled differently? Oh, okay.
Spelled a little
All
bit
right.
differently.
Well, you said it was the birthing place.
But you
and
see, even as we're putting into shore here, a lot of people are not too wandering around too much. They just want to lay out there in the sun and enjoy themselves, because we spent a little bit of time here, which was really nice. And there are other people, though, of course, that are going to take some shots of pictures just like we did. As you can see, right in the foreground, there's a smaller ship, the Crown Monarch, and then behind that is the Princess line back there. And my goodness sakes, if you look on the other side of the ship, we will in a little bit, you're going to see some other ships out there too. But look at this. I mean, they're just kind of like stacked 1, 2, 3, 4.
But Marv, I had a phone call today from a lady that had gone on the Crown Princess. She wants to go to Alaska with us, and she saw our tape, and she said she thought she was in Twilight Zone because she was seeing what has happened to her, and she couldn't believe it. It was really an interesting conversation we had.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's always fun to share the pictures, of course, when you come home, and that's what we like to do here on the Adventures Travel Club television show. And if you would like to travel with us, of course, we have an open invitation to you anytime.
Anytime, any
go with us.
place,
That's
anywhere.
Right. And we do have a lot of trips coming up for this year, too, and we'll be telling you about that as we get into the show. But these scenes here, this is the first time I'd ever been to Nassau. Had you been this area before, Betty?
I had never been on a cruise before. This was a completely new experience to me, and oh, did I love to be pampered. I usually have to work hard.
That's right. Well, that's why the cruises, I think, are so much fun. The ship is 798 feet long. Oh, listen, before we tell you that, let's stop and listen to this music. Well, as you can see, Sister Corrine Clay was having all sorts of fun there with the musicians. This was lots of fun. I was just going to say that the ship is 798 feet long, 95 feet wide, 101 feet high, and has 9 passenger decks, as you can see here, plus 5 non-passenger decks. That's a lot of passenger decks, isn't it?
Well, there's a lot of people that get on that ship.
Yeah.
Not only the passengers themselves, but there are 700 crew members.
Whoa, that's great.
a lot of crew people. Mhm.
Well, here we're looking to see who's going to be our cab driver and who's going to take us on a little tour of Nassau. And so we were just having fun here with the drivers. And
you do a little dickering here, don't you?
Yeah, and that's
see.
so much fun. It's just great. This flag that you see here was on a ship that I went by. It's sort of like a Greenpeace ship. See the black ship over there? They were busy trying to paint that and do all sorts of things. And they had a sign out there that they're trying to conserve, wildlife in the ocean and all that sort of stuff. This is now, a moment ago I said you look on the other side of our ship and you can see where there's 3 more ships that are berthed over there. Yeah, they were.
Compared to ours, of course.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, we are going to hop into a little taxi cab right now, and we're going to start a little small tour, just a little bit of Nassau. And so let's listen to our guide as he takes us away from the ship.
New Providence is the capital of all the Bahama Islands. Now, in the Bahama Islands, we have 700 islands, and there's only 21 inhabited. So this island is 21 miles long and 7 miles wide. The population of the island is about 250,000 people live on the island.
250,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Seems like, Betty, these ports become very busy when all these cruise ships seem to come in at one time.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, they have come in. Was it 4 of the big ones, or 3 of the big and 2 smaller?
I think there are about 6 that were there at the same time that we were there. So that's really something.
You know, Marv, it's so interesting to know how you pick up a taxi or you pick up a van. You don't have to take the prescribed tours from the ship. You can find your own mode of transportation.
Now, this building over here, that is the Churchill building. That's where the Prime Minister have his office. Prime Minister of the Bahamas.
And how does he get to be Prime Minister?
He was elected, ma'am.
You elected by you?
Yes, by the people, yes, ma'am.
Who live here?
Yes.
Betty, here is another mode of transportation. You can take a horse and buggy if you'd like.
Yeah, I want to go back because I didn't go and do that. Sometimes I'm cheap, and I think, oh no, that's too expensive. But I wish now I had done it. Can we go back?
Oh, sure,
Okay,
we can go back
let's
anytime.
go back so Betty can ride the horse.
So Betty
and
can ride the
buggy.
horse and buggy. Right. We're coming up to Bay Street, which is the main shopping street here in Nassau, and I didn't know exactly what to expect. I've seen a lot of pictures, travel shows, and brochures and whatever. But very, very modern city here, and again in the Brinks truck.
And it was crowded. Well,
it was with all
so
the
many
ships.
It better be. Huh?
Sure, yeah. But there were some beautiful stores here, and some nice big department stores, and a lot of the littler shops too, depending on what you wanted to buy. And of course, the ubiquitous T-shirt shops
right.
are everywhere.
Well,
throughout
that's
those
what
islands.
people do collect. They do collect T-shirts. It's a lovely little souvenir to bring home to your kids or your friends or whoever. You know.
I think it's good. I actually shop for T-shirts here. I found some that were pretty good construction. I found some that were made in China. I saw the tag on them, and they looked like they'd last about one wash.
And I'm sure
and that would be
that's
about
true.
it. So that's probably why they could
I was
advertise
very good.
10 for $1.
I bought very, very little on this trip. Hardly anything.
Well, you have to consider that as much traveling as we do, we go to so many places. Where are you going to put all this stuff when you bring it home?
Yeah, that's the truth.
Here's the straw market. Did you go through that,
Yes,
Betty?
I did, and I found that fascinating because it's almost as deep as it is wide, and everybody is allocated a small space, perhaps 4 feet, 3 feet is all, and then it has depths to it, and then they stand there and they proposition you as say for $3 or $4,
and all of those things are handmade, are they not?
most of I don't know about not the T-shirts, of course.
No,
but all
I
the
mean they're in the straw shop. Yeah.
Yes, and they had some beautiful men's Panama hats that were just beautiful.
This is a beautiful hotel, the British Colonial Hotel, and if you were to look at it from the water side, which I'm sorry I didn't put any of those shots in here, but sort of reminds me of the Royal Hawaiian.
Yeah, it's very elegant,
Yeah,
though, isn't
yeah,
it? Huh?
yeah, it is just beautiful. Well, we are going to jump now to the island of Tortola, and it was when we were on the island of Tortola, which is a small little island in the Caribbean. It was a little bit rainy, so some of us headed for the little stores and the pubs. And this is one that when I saw the 5-cent sign out there, of course, that's where I was
That
going.
sounds like me. I did go in there. We kind of, Marv and I kind of go off in different directions when we get on the land like this, so we can share our notes with one another. And you see that chicken? That's what I had for lunch.
Is that right?
No, not really. No, but I did enjoy a beer in here.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
this is
fun.
like an English pub, the way
Yeah.
that this was decorated up,
And it was
interesting.
fun.
Yeah,
It was really.
They had a beautiful shop in the back of this too, where you could have sweaters and shorts and some very good quality
Expensive.
things. Yes, they were. They were not inexpensive.
No.
But the people were in there from the various ships, and they were buying a lot of things in there. I was surprised. I saw a lot of people walk out with bagfuls of things. So
I didn't find there was a whole lot here in Tortola, but I was really interested to know that the natives own this island, and they own their own land. And then and the education is marvelous. The children on the island, well, adults as they grow older, to go off to college, they can pick any college they want. The government picks up the tab.
Oh, they do?
Guarantees them a job when they come back.
Uh-huh.
And then you pay back the loan by degrees. And if you're successful, they write the note off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
Well, that's one way to keep the
Yeah.
economy going, isn't it?
And they have
See,
their own choice of schools.
There's even a chicken on the sign up
Yeah,
there, so I think
yeah.
maybe they were advertising
Maybe-
chicken dinners.
Yeah, well, like, you could see it would be very fresh.
That's right. Right, go right out there in the front
Then
yard.
see the
yeah.
water. We had one of those, I guess, usual rainfall, huh?
Well, I think any
downpour.
time that you're in the tropic area, you're going to have a little bit of rain, and then it clears up and
Yeah.
almost dries up immediately.
It's
So
kind of fun. You run for shelter, and then a
Right.
few minutes later, boom, out you are again.
boy, don't you think they'd love to see the tourists coming and have a nice little rain pour like
yeah,
that?
yeah. Because sure, you go inside of a store. Where else? huh?
Sure, of course. But they were this building they were repainting and redoing. I thought there's some very nice looking buildings here, and I understand. I've talked to other people that have lived on this island. There are quite a few sophisticated things on this island, of course, too, which we didn't see because we didn't have really enough time. Because
No.
it was time to get back in the skiff and go
And
back to the boat or
Now,
the ship. Pardon
Marv,
me.
you can buy a half an acre of land there. It's for sale for $16,000.
For half an acre.
Half an acre. Now that's not too bad.
You mean they will sell to
They will sell, and
non-Tortolans?
That's right.
didn't know that.
Anybody can buy. See, the natives own it themselves, and so they can sell a half an acre of their acre.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good.
Yeah. uh-huh.
That's good.
So you
I
can go move over there.
Well, I suspect if you lived on the east coast of the United States, that might not be a bad situation because you can hop over there, on an airplane real fast. But coming from the
Or
west
do you-
coast, I think it might be a little more difficult.
No, I was thinking for retirement.
Oh,
not for.
I
You
see.
could
For
hardly afford to have a half acre over there and go 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, that would. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some people
Lease
do
it
on
out, huh?
timeshares and stuff.
Timeshares.
Yeah. And there is our magnificent Wester Dam again. I just marvel every time that I see the ship because it's just absolutely wonderful. And they can accommodate almost up to 3,000 guests on the ship. I imagine that would be packing it from the rafters, and it is interesting. See the lines that are here that lowered some of those skiffs down. Well, also I noticed when we went for the lifeguard drill that there was something looked like a construction thing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it finally came to me. That's what this little platform is right down here, so that the boats can go right up there and they unload and load again. And that again was lowered from the ship. So
Yeah.
boy, that was really
It
self-contained.
really is own little wharf.
Yeah.
So that wherever you go, you can get your tender down and away you go.
And away you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, it is so self-contained. I kept wondering, why aren't they telling us to limit the amount of water that we use, like the showers and things like that? But they have within the ship the desalinization plant, and so they're producing fresh water all the time.
Isn't it amazing? They can do that on a ship, and yet here in California, we are having a drought, and we have all that ocean water over there too. Why doesn't somebody get on the stick and start doing that for us?
It could be done.
Too much, too
It could be
expensive,
done.
maybe. I
Well, I don't know. It might be. This, of course, we want to show you a shot of the dining room.
Isn't that elegant?
Oh, yes. And this is, of course, where we had those wonderful meals every evening here on the ship. And I'll tell you,
It was-
I don't know how they turned out so much good food and turned it out so fast and so warm. Of course, they had the waiters. There looked
Excellent.
like there were dozens and dozens of them, and of course the steward that you had at the table was the one we had our table. He was absolutely excellent. Just
Well, I
excellent.
liked, and I took one thing from each of the things that were offered almost every night.
all the entrees,
Like
all the soups, all the
caviar and
salads.
Oh yes, oh yes, the idle rich. That's what I felt like. What is that program, The Life of the
Oh,
Beautiful?
Rich and Famous?
Rich
Right.
and, well, I don't, not the famous, but that was anyway. I really lived elegantly for a
Oh,
week.
that's great. Well, now we are going to go and see a show, and this is where everybody does a little dress up, and it's a competition, and some of our people were on it. So let's take a look.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen right now is we're going to meet our first competitor in this competition. What's going on? We're just signing up the last few over there. Entry number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is Barbara Nadal, and she comes as a Hawaiian girl clown. And here she is. Barbara, just turn right around, face the judges right behind you, turn back, face the audience, and tell us, Barbara, whereabouts are you from?
Santa Ana, California.
Santa Ana, California. It's our very, very first Hawaiian clown we've ever had in a competition. Let's give her a nice big hand. Barbara, if you'd like to take a seat just over there off stage. Thank you very much indeed. And we move on now to entry number 2. Entry number 2 is Peggy Walker. And Peggy comes as a Scottish lady from the Clan Lamont. And here we are. Peggy, I'd like you to just turn around and show the judges your costume. Face front again. Thank you very much indeed. This is not we have a mixture of tongues here. This is the ancient, this is the modern. And the Clan, I've never heard of it. Clan Lamont.
It's pronounced Lamont.
Oh, I see. Now I understand. Now this is an authentic Scottish costume, so you can do the sword dance for us. Fantastic. Let's give her a nice big round of applause. Peggy, thank you very much indeed. If you'd like to make your way off over there. Oh. All right. And entry number 11, Virginia and John. And she comes as Mrs. Black Widow and the Texas Sheriff. And here they are. An interesting costume, the Black Widow of Texas and the Sheriff. Okay. And whereabouts are you two from?
Hanford, California.
I felt sure they would have been from Texas.
From Texas, California.
From Texas, California. All right, we'll take that. Let's give them a nice big round of applause if you'd like to head off over here. Thank you very much indeed. I've got our second prize winners, ladies and gentlemen. And this is entry number, a tie again for second place. Entry number 2, Clan Lamont, Peggy Walker. Peggy, come on down. And also tying for second place, entry number 5. Kirby Kemp has gone bananas. And winning first prize with the maximum number of marks, ladies and gentlemen, entry number 3, Bill Armosita as Beachcomber Bill. Our first prize winner, ladies and gentlemen, Beachcomber Bill. Bill, come on out here. Thank you very much indeed. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice big shake hands with the judges? How about a nice big round of applause to judges Leslie, Bill, and Beverly? Bill Brendel, who played all the right music at the right time, and Paulie, Nick, Gary, and Michelle from the cruise staff who put all this together backstage. And a nice big round of applause for everybody who took part tonight and made this competition tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. And have a great day tomorrow in St. Thomas. Thank you and good night.
Well, that was wonderful. Donna and Virginia of Hanford and Peggy. Peggy won. She tied for second place in that competition of the Cossin. Wasn't that wonderful?
Yeah, I think that was really neat of John and Virginia, too. They're such nice people.
Well, you
I
know,
enjoyed
John was
them.
up every morning at 6 o'clock walking the decks, and I would run into him, you know, doing my mile every morning.
Well, that's his Dutch background.
Is that right?
Yeah, he is Dutch.
Ah,
yeah,
very good.
And Peggy's always such a good sport. Peggy goes a lot with us on
Yeah,
our trips.
yeah, she's a good traveler.
Good
Lots of
sport,
fun.
yes,
Lots of fun.
yeah.
Peggy's always got good stories for us, too. Well, you can see what time it was, 10 minutes to 8 o'clock in the morning, and there we were already docked. In fact, I guess we came in, I don't know if we came in the night before or we were
I think-
already there. I don't remember.
I think we came in the night before, but you have to have the pilot to bring you into the dock.
Oh, into the
and
dock,
so
right.
that we had to wait for the pilot
That's right,
to bring
yeah.
us in.
It was quite beautiful. It was nice here taking a look, of course, at the other ships. This one of Italian registry, and there they are. They're lined up waiting for us, aren't they, huh?
Oh, yeah, there they. You know, I, for a change, know something about this island of St. Thomas.
Good.
Would you like to hear?
I
how
would like to
smart
hear
I
about-
am?
yes, indeed I
Not
would.
very often. But,
Okay.
But I do know this: that Columbus discovered the islands in 1493. Not 14. Yeah, 14.
1493.
now, Don,
good.
you just stop.
And
that.
that's his ship right
now,
out
don't
there in
you
the
make
harbor.
Me
No,
nervous.
okay, okay.
Just because I've got some facts, you're just jealous. That's
ahead,
all.
go
All
ahead.
right. And I'm going to tell you that it was Denmark that colonized these islands, and they came over and they raised sugar, and guess what they made from the sugar? Rum.
Right, yeah.
And so they made lots of money from the rum. What you saying?
Oh,
what
that's
you saying?
good. Well, here we're just about ready to disembark and be welcome to St. Thomas. That's right. In fact, they used to trade in rum an awful lot, didn't they?
That's right.
I think that was, you know, that was something. They don't do that anymore. They just sell it to all the tourists, I believe. Well, you see Father Barham is getting off the ship, and
He's going on safari.
He's going on. Yeah, he's in his safari
And
clothes.
his safari
isn't he?
clothes. So far, he's so good.
That's
Hi,
right.
Mary Lee.
Yes.
Yes,
Mary
I had-
Lee Sullivan's there,
yeah.
and there you are, and
Had
more
fun
of our
with
travelers.
Mary Lee. She was at my table, and she and John, and we had a great time.
Oh, they're great
Yeah.
traveling folks, aren't they? Just
They're
great,
yes,
wonderful
I
people.
enjoyed them a lot. Now, you want some more facts?
Yeah, give me some
Do
more
I have
facts.
time?
Not very much.
All right. I have something else to tell you, that there were a lot of paved things with bricks here on the island, and they were the ballast on the ships from Denmark that came over. Isn't that smart of me?
That's
Oh, I'm
great.
so proud. Thank you, Marv. I
You're
don't
wel-
get to do that very often.
Okay, well, as you see, we've hopped into a little cab again, and we're going to listen to our guide, and I hope that you can understand him.
Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to St. Thomas Virgin Islands. I hope you all will have a happy and joyful tour. Yes, I'll do my best. I know you like it sorry, but you see, sometimes you on the road going, the trees, the pirates and IVs hook up to your hand and things like that. Get in your face while they're driving, cause of the bush in the road. You know, a lot of people come back here, a lot of red marks on the skin from those things. Now you're going in the mountain, you know, to the trees.
What's the population of St. Thomas?
45,000.
45,000.
That's the last update they have, but it's more like 55,000. So many people here, so many people coming in.
And is the main industry right in this area? I mean, would be tourism? Is that
Well, this tourism season now was done for a while for the summer, and so it's just getting back.
Yeah.
Just come back on foot now.
As it drops off in the summer, then those cruise ships start
Yes.
jumping in there.
They don't stop, they just slow down, you know.
Yeah.
If 10 come in, like 7 will come, you know, like that. That's the capital of St. Thomas, Charlotte Amalie, okay? The red and white building seen over here on the hill, right across the hill there. The flags are not up today, but, oh yeah, the 2 flags is up here. But the half mast, you see? That's a governor mentioned there. That's a governor mentioned. Our governor here is a native Virgin Islander. His name is Alex Fowley. Lieutenant Governor is Derek Hodge, okay? The sunroof type building seen here, that's a police station there. The top floor is the jail cells, believe it or not. It's on the top floor, okay? The long white building seen on top of the hill down there used to be the hotel they call Hilton Hotel. It's no longer owned by Hilton, it's Virgin Islands Hotel now, okay? Since the hurricane it's been busted in, and they haven't fixed it since. Now it's for sale, okay?
And I do want to remind everybody about the cruise that we have coming up to the Western Caribbean on the New Amsterdam, and that's going to be on February the 13th. And we're going to be sailing from Tampa in Florida. And one of our first ports of call the next day will be beautiful Key West, Florida. You know, Key West is a town in the Caribbean, is southernmost town in the United States, I guess we could say. It has beautiful beaches and water sports and historical attractions galore, including the authentically restored conch house of Old Town and Ernest Hemingway's home. And that night we're going to have a wonderful big welcome aboard party. It'll be our second night on ship, but we'll be ready for a welcome party on that. And then the next day we'll be in Playa del Carmen, I'm sorry, in Cozumel, Mexico. And you know, the Yucatan village of Playa del Carmen, we'll go on a shore tour there and we'll see some of the ruins of Mayan city. And oh my goodness sakes, this is beautiful. I've been in this area before. And of course, it's famed for its beautiful beaches and underwater parks, if you will believe. That's a haven for scuba divers and for snorkelers. And another port that we're going to be visiting will be Ocho Rios in Jamaica, and that will be a fantastic place as we visit Dunn's River Falls, a cascade that leaps out of the jungle towards the sea. Then we're also going to be in Georgetown in Grand Cayman, and that is a wonderful, wonderful place. Anyway, we do want to tell you that is coming up, and that is going to be on the 13th of February, and that will be on the ship, the New Amsterdam, and I know that you're going to like that one. In fact, it's going to be in February when it's so cold here, so everybody get ready for that particular trip, if you will. The Western Caribbean in February. Well, now what about some of the other places we're going to next year?
Some of the other places. And well, like I told you, we have a new one, or we were contemplating this for some time, but just decided this is going to be it. We're going to do the Orient Adventure. Now, I've never been to Seoul, Korea, and everybody says, oh, Seoul you'll love. So I'm going to lose my soul.
No, you're
no,
right.
then we're going to go to Bangkok. This is on the same trip, by the way. So we'll be going to Seoul, Korea, and then we're going to Bangkok, Thailand.
Chiang Mai.
In
northern Thailand.
It's also in Thailand, but
a lot of the villages out there.
Yeah, we're not. Marv tells me it's a big city, but I don't think it's big. But who knows?
Big enough for an airport.
For an airport, that's right. So if an airport can land there, it has to have peoples. But we are going to go on the outskirts there and see some of the villages and villagers and their dances.
And then we'll also wind up with 3 nights in Hong Kong, Betty's favorite city, so she can do some more shopping for clothes that she'll probably never ever wear.
Now that's not really true. I just like Hong Kong.
I know you do. Then we're going in March?
Yes. In March we're going to go to Greece, and we will be doing the footsteps of St. Paul.
So that would take us also into Turkey then, wouldn't it?
Into Turkey, yes. And I've asked Monsignor Hayes if he wouldn't go with us. He's a great historian, and he could really fill us in on what we need to know about the history.
And then of course, April, we have the Panama Canal. And in June, it will be Rome, the Holy Land, and Cairo, Egypt.
Yeah, I really think that's my favorite.
That is going to be
seven
wonderful.
times, but it's always new to me.
That's a great trip.
It truly is a beautiful trip, one that stays with you the rest of your life.
And July, we will probably be doing a cruise back to Alaska because people want to do that. And August, we're going to Ireland. And then in October, we have a real special trip. That is, we're going to Egypt, and we're going to do Egypt in depth. And we're going to cruise up the Nile River.
Marv says up the river. I say down the river, but he's always right.
We'll be on the river. Oh, there we are eating shrimp.
And
Father
it was
Barham.
so
Look at his
luscious.
2 plates of it. Oh my goodness.
Father Stephen.
And look at these other people that just been back there to get ice cream and all the desserts, the cheesecakes and all those wonderful things. And this man just opened the door for you so that you could go out with all of your food.
That's what I say. Ease, lay back, have fun.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Well, we want you to come with us and have a wonderful adventure. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.